All right, hello and welcome back. Brett here with ClickMill.co. So we just went through all of this information on how to prompt an AI, how to talk to an AI, do we trust AI, and a couple issues there. Um, what is an AI agent, and what um, and how to make an AI agent. And now what I want to briefly talk about in this video is what is an AI swarm. And now I don't know if this is the terminology that is going to stick around, but right now in some of the more, I don't know what the term is, maybe high level AI YouTube channels, and I mean people who are like professors in this stuff, and it's very technical. Um, they're talking about AI swarms. And what that means is you're going to get a bunch of agents, like we talked about in the prior video, that can act autonomously, but you're going to have a bunch of them. And so that is called a swarm. And so you can then task each one with a goal in the same way you would task an employee with a goal. And then you can create an entire workforce that does runs a whole company or runs an entire church, or whatever it is you want it to do. You will just have this whole structure of these agents that do different tasks and complete different things completely autonomously. Okay, and so I want to talk about the structure of these. The way in which we might do this is we have an AI that creates content. Okay, and now how would we have an AI that creates content? Well, the agent would have access to training files on, let's say, ClickMill, everything we've ever made, everything I've ever written, you know, on ministry and church growth, because I want it to have reliable data. I don't want it to pull from the internet, because I think a lot of the things that people train on growth, especially within the Christian context, is not functional. It doesn't actually work. And that is why so many ministries struggle with growth. They're not listening to advice. They're just listening to advice that does not work. And so I don't want it to pull from anywhere. I only want it to pull from our training. So what do? We take all of our context, all of our training, and put it into this AI. And then we say, create a video outline on this subject. Then what happens? Then we get another AI agent that focuses specifically on creating titles and YouTube descriptions. And we say, now you go in and you take care of that and make the title and YouTube description according to all of these search engine optimization parameters and links and keywords and hashtags. And because we're experts in that, we can create the best AI agent for creating these sorts of descriptions. Then we have an image agent go in, our graphic designer, kind of like we looked at in the last video or a couple videos ago. And we have our graphic designer agent go in and make a thumbnail. Now, right now it's, kind of half baked because it can make images, but it can't write. So you can't really have thumbnails with words, but that is coming right around the corner. So you have your graphic designer go in, make a thumbnail. Then you have your video agent, and this is coming out now. These are cutting edge AI, as it is, what's the date today? February 13th, 2024. These are being released in the last couple of months. A text to video agent. So you say, well, I want a video of a cat in a spacesuit walking through a colorful alien planet with planets in the sky. And that's actually a video I saw, shockingly. But anyway, so it takes text and it turns it into video. Well, what's going to happen is you're going to have an AI agent that has a 3D rendering of your face and a digital model of your voice. They already have AIs that will do this. It's going to pull both of those things, and you're going to say, make a YouTube video of me on the moon teaching church growth, and have me say the transcript that you made earlier, or the transcript agent made earlier, and it will create a YouTube video out of whole cloth from nothing that is you on the moon teaching church growth or whatever it is you want to do. And that is maybe a couple years out at the most to be able to do full length YouTube videos. That has to do with processing power, because it takes a lot of processing to, say, make 1080p or 4K video. And then you're going to want to have it edit in real time too. They're already releasing AI video editing. So tools like cut out all the words and and all that stuff, cut all that out. So this is the type of workflow we're going to be able to do with AI agent swarms. Then you're going to have, let's say, your web developer or your YouTuber, and you say, take the video and the description and the image and the thumbnail and go and launch that immediately on our YouTube channel. Boom. And you have videos going live according to the parameters you set, doing actually nothing to get those videos out. So that is what a swarm can do. And that's just a YouTube video. You can do that with everything. And the way this is going to look is, let's say you've got that video creation team of AI agents. You've got a little mini swarm there. Well, now you need to manage it. So what do? I just check in with those AIs and I say, okay, is this a good video? Well, what am I going to do? I'm going to manage the video team of AIs, and then I'm going to manage the blog team, and then I'm going to manage the web design team, and I'm going to manage the intern team. Like, what intern AIs? That doesn't even make sense, but whatever. I'm going to manage all these teams. Well, I don't want to do that. So what am I going to do? I'm going to make a manager, a video AI manager, and I am going to train that manager with all of the sort of review, the editorial things I'm going to look for, and it will then pass off based on the best training I can give it on what I'm looking for in a YouTube video. And so it's going to say, nope, I don't like this, and kick it back to the video editor AI or whatever it does. It's going to kick it back to the writer or the transcript AI or the thumbnail AI agent. And it's going to say, no, this doesn't meet our requirements. Do it again. And they're just going to keep cycling that around until the video meets the editor's standards for that video, the YouTube video AI's standards, and then it'll publish it. Okay, so now you can autonomously have your YouTube videos, your blogs, your whatever, everything. And then what do? Well, then you have a manager of all the managers. And so what you are very quickly looking at with these AI swarms is people will be tasking an AI, and we might call this a meta AI. I want you to create the entire company structure of AIs that will accomplish this goal, and it will just create, let's say, 100 CEOs, and all 100 of those CEOs will have different settings, and the one that can then create the best team will be left, and all other 99 will be deleted. Then what will happen? That team will then have to, the managers of that team there that the CEO hired, and by that I mean he created, that team will then have to create agents underneath or hire agents that can then do all of the YouTube and all this other stuff. And the ones that can't perform the job up to the specifications will be fired or just deleted. And the agents that can function properly will remain. And then you will have these entire digital companies run by AI, and no people are needed. And this is sort of the logical consequence. And this is why a lot of people are kind of freaking out about AI, because what do you need people for at that point? And I don't know the answer to that. I think it's a very valid question. And also, I'm actively making AI that can replace people. And so, Emily, one of the reasons why we're covering this is because, at least in my perspective, and this is going to be fringe for now, and then in 24 months, everybody's probably going to figure this out. And this is called the Overton window. An Overton window is how long it takes society to make something abnormal and unusual and different or new and incorporate that into normal life. So that is the case with AI. That is the case with, political positions and technology. There's an Overton window that shifts as things become more normal. Well, this AI type of talk is really weird, but in 24 months, everybody's going to realize what's going on. And so and I'm just saying 24 months as an estimate, but with you guys and the interns and anybody watching this video, my hope is that you figure out how to be the sort of strategist behind the AI swarm, because if we do not learn how to use these things, and we only have one skill, it's not going to be useful. I have great accountants for ClickMail, and also I'm not going to pay $250 an hour anymore for a person to go through and check all of the books and make sure they're correct when I can have a computer program do it for free. That doesn't make any sense from a business perspective. And what is going to happen? All of the accountants are going to disappear in 5 years or something like that. You know, who knows? Who knows how long it is? It depends on how long broad adoption takes for these types of things. But my bottom line is going to get a lot better very quickly. And so with you guys, with the interns, with anybody watching this, is I want you to know, how do you write a blog? I want to know how do you make a sermon with AI and do it responsibly. I want you to know how to make YouTube videos and set these things up as good as anybody, so that you can then train AIs to do it for you, and then train AIs to manage those AIs, and train, a CEO. How does a company supposed to work? How do you be a CEO? Because unless you know how to train an AI how to do that, you're going to fall behind and your skill set isn't going to be important. And so at some point, you kind of get to this logical extreme with these AI swarms, which is, what will you even need to know? And that is what some people refer to as the singularity. And they pull that from physics with a black hole, which is, once you go beyond the rim of the black hole, you are in the singularity and you cannot get any information about it. And so it seems pretty clear, as this AI technology advances, especially with this swarms type stuff, that things are going to be really weird in a pretty short period of time when you're looking at how quickly these things are developing. I was talking with a friend of mine through my mentor, who is a financial manager for retirees. And I was asking him, are you accounting for AI and any of this stuff? And he's like, yeah, it's on our radar, but we're looking at a 10 to 20 year span. Okay, maybe. But also it's developing really rapidly. And I think that a lot of people are going to be surprised with how quickly things get weird. And I don't know what weird looks like. I don't think anybody knows what weird looks like, because once you sort of reason out in your head so far, stuff doesn't really make sense anymore. So that is all stuff to just be thinking about with AI swarms. And again, so the point that I'm trying to make to wrap that up, Emily, is my goal is to make you guys as functional and as capable as you can. So as these changes start to come down the pipe, whatever they are, and however quickly they come, maybe it's slower than I think, or maybe it's not, it doesn't really matter. But you guys are able to be capable and adapt quickly to those changes, because you're already at least aware of the possibilities that could happen. Does that make sense?
Yes, that does.
Okay. Any questions on that?
Yes. Um, so like with the swarm, so when you're creating it, are you saying basically you kind of like create one overall like
Yeah.
AI and have like a bunch underneath?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah. And so it would work exactly the way I would build a company. So for example, Emily, okay, so you're coming in, you've got experience with some things, but you want to learn marketing. So what am I going to teach you? I'll teach you marketing strategy, right? And that's what we've been talking about, which is a pretty advanced skill set. I mean, not only marketing strategy, but ministry strategy and ministry growth. Like, I've spent 15 years learning this stuff, and, almost 22 years reading about business and marketing. So it's like, I'll teach you that stuff and I'll get you caught up super fast. If you just, you're around enough, you're going to learn way faster than I did, because I just had to kind of figure it out myself and through books. Well, you get a speed, but now I can also just train an AI to know that too. Now, do I think they're really as smart as people right now? No. But as they get more capabilities, I'm going to be able to train an AI faster than I can train an Emily. And so then what do? Well, the average, so I'm still going to work with interns because that's where my heart is and that's what I think God's called me to do. But the average secular business person is just going to scratch all the employees. And why would I pay someone $3 or $4 or $5,000 a month when I can just upload a document to my AI and tell it what I want it to do, like the employee would do, and it does it for free? And so That's what you're looking at. And so what do? Then you just hire a bunch of AI agent employees, and there will be people renting these online. Basically, hey, here is your copywriter AI, $100 a month. Why wouldn't I pay $100 a month to get an employee an infinite number of hours a week? I can have it work 24 hours a day when I'd have to pay thousands of dollars a month to get 40 hours a week out of an employee. Of course, you would do that. And so, and then of course, there'll be so many of them, the price will get driven down and it will all become free. So then what do? You hire on next to no cost team members that would have been a person, but now are an AI to do everything for you. And then what do? You need managers. So you're going to have manager AIs that manage certain teams. And so the ability to grow something is going to be based on your knowledge of how to structure entire companies. And there's not a lot of people who know that. You know, and then of course, you know, if I was talking to a friend of mine, Zach, he'd say, well, yeah, but only one person needs to know that. And then there'll be a company structure AI. And you'll just talk to that guy and say, structure a company that accomplishes this. And then you don't even need to know how to do that. And this is where it starts to get weird because it's like, well, do we need to know anything or don't we? I don't know. I'm just trying to train on how to adapt as quickly as we can so that we can continue to, what do you want to say, keep pace with the secular world and have a voice in the AI world and be able to reach people for Christ through the tools that come out. So I'm trying to reason as far out as it kind of makes sense. And this is pretty common in the AI world where people are trying to understand how this is going to affect stuff. But yes, you put a manager over all the other AIs, and then you got 5 managers because you got 5 teams of AIs, and then you need one manager of the 5 managers, and now you have a whole corporate structure that's just a bunch of AIs. Is that helpful?
Yes, that was.
Cool. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to go ahead and end this video. And in the next video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to actually look, if you're watching it this in the subscription course, we're actually going to look at the first glimpse in ChatGPT of how we are going to actually use these agents together. And I think you're going to get sort of a sneak peek on what I'm talking about. If what I'm talking about sounds like extreme and crazy, I totally get it, because when I started learning this, I was like, this is extreme and crazy. I'm going to show it to you in a mini version, and then you're going to see very quickly like how this is actually going to happen. So we'll go ahead and end the video here, and I'll see you in the very next video.